Coming up, Iowa City takes action against the Trump administration.
An Iowa City organization teaches residents a quick fix.
A not-so-dry week ahead. I'll have your full forecast and weather.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Monday, April 21st. I'm Isabel Thier.
And I'm Karch Smith.
And we begin this morning with breaking news. Pope Francis has died at the age of 88. A cause of death is unknown at the time, and the Pope had a lengthy stay in the hospital due to pneumonia back in February. He had just attended his final Easter Mass yesterday before passing away. Francis has served the Catholic Church's people since 2013. And Karch, I'm so sick and tired of this up and down weather here.
Yeah, I know. And I'm actually in the market for a new pet, and I heard it's supposed to be raining cats and dogs this week. Annika, can you tell us more about that?
Well, guys, I hate to break it to you, but this week will be a bit unpredictable with scattered rain and thunderstorms throughout. Looking out onto the Pentecrest today, we start off the week with a nice low 60s before dropping to the mid 40s, with scattered rain showers throughout the night. Tomorrow looks to be a perfect day for t-shirts as it'll be around the mid 70s during the day, but unfortunately you'll need an umbrella as thunderstorms are predicted throughout the night. Guys, I just love the rain and I cannot wait to splash around in those puddles, but for now I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
The National Day of Action took place in Iowa City over the weekend. DITV's news director Johnny Valtman has what actions protesters want and other changes.
We need to stand together as 170 million strong.
The National Day of Action provided another opportunity for people to voice and show their frustrations with the current administration.
To older people, including myself, about if Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare are cut. Just in general, I'm not happy with what's going on.
The rally had the common scenes of marches, music, and chants. But a new addition were multiple tables set up by different organizations, providing resources to teach people about their organization and issues they are fighting for.
We take real people's real stories and tell them to everyone who wants to listen and let people know that there's faces to the cuts that are happening and it's going to impact real people, real Iowans, real Americans.
Despite the holiday weekend, a crowd ranging in the 500s made it out on a warm morning to provide support to those who need it.
Community members are coming together and reconnecting and not just online, but like in person. I think that we're needing to do that.
Protesters are also pushing for changes in the Iowa and national legislatures to replace sitting Republicans in next year's midterm elections.
We need to get Joni Ernst and Grassley and Miller Meeks out of politics. They're not looking out for us.
Protests against the Trump administration will continue as people push for change not only in Washington, D.C., but here in the state of Iowa. From the University of Iowa, Johnny Valtman, DITV.
A University of Iowa student is suing the school due to privacy concerns. Mark Mucklowitz is suing after a video of him in Zoom class smoking an e-cigarette was recorded and uploaded to the internet without his consent. Mucklowitz claims that an online security at the university is not up to standard and is boycotting classes in the protest. The university has ensured that all students' data is private.
And Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a dozen laws into bill last Friday.
And that's why we have DITV's Cole Krieger live in the newsroom with a legislative update on a couple of bills passed on Reynolds' desk.
That's right, guys. Lots to break down in Des Moines this week, but let's start with a law that changes state gun policy. This law relates to the minimum required age that an individual can carry a concealed weapon. The required age has gone down from 21 down to 18. The age of consent and direct supervision when using a concealed weapon has also been lowered down to 18. Now, another bill that was signed will crack down on forgery and theft of credit cards. The new law will make it a misdemeanor for any fraud charges with gift cards. Terms such as card holder, card issuer, and gift cards are all being rebranded to organize the crime. We'll continue to update you on all bills that slide across Reynolds' desk, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
The Chauncey, among other high-rise properties in Iowa City, is headed for auction. This comes after the Green State Credit Union won a foreclosure lawsuit against developer Mark Moen after Moen and his associates allegedly defaulted on $28 million in loans. The Plaza Towers, Park at 201, and building in the Ped Mall known as the Moen Jet Real Estate in a parking lot next to Starbucks on Burlington Street are set to join the Chauncey at auction. And an Iowa City organization hosted an event to help residents fix some of their broken belongings.
DITV's Ryan Lynch. Organization looks to teach residents some new skills.
Yes, guys, Iowa City Repair, previously called the Iowa City Repair Cafe, held a spring event here at the Eastside Recycling Center on Saturday.
Iowa City Repair launched a few years ago with a mission to help residents repair their broken items.
We are an entirely volunteer-led effort. We're 2 years old now.
The spirit of Iowa City Repair is not just about simply fixing things for Iowa City residents, but also teaching them the skills to make the repairs themselves.
You bring in your bike to either the repair cafe or the bike library. You'll walk away knowing more about your bike, being able to safety check it, and being able to pass that forward.
Volunteers also use the event to gain and improve their own repair skills to help out more in the future. For attendees, this was an opportunity to learn from other members in the community who might have different skill sets.
The gentleman that was sharpening knives this morning was able to educate me and tell me that when I mentioned, oh, scissors, I should have brought my scissors, and he said that's the easiest thing to sharpen, and kind of told me how to do it.
Iowa City Repair has an appeal for many people as it encourages sustainability in the environment.
It's an event that can appeal to a wide variety of people, whether it's a thing that you care about sustainability in the environment.
Iowa City Repair will continue to hold events throughout the year, with the next one taking place on July 20th. Back to you guys in the studio.
And coming up later, stay tuned for DITV's sports segment In the Zone. We'll take a look at where the spring sports sit in the standings, look at some Iowa records that have been broken, and of course, we'll have our top 5 plays of the week.
I drove through it all the way on my way back, and my hair was wet, everything was frizzy.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to grab an umbrella while I was home over Easter break, and I'm very much regretting that decision. Annika, do you have more on that?
Yeah, guys, this week might be extra humid and a little hot, as for most of it, it's going to be raining. Getting into next week, we can see that Wednesday will start off hot with a high in the high 70s and a low dipping toward the mid 50s with thunderstorms throughout the night. Now, Thursday looks to be even hotter with a predicted temperature in the high 70s with rain in the evening. It'll be a little colder on Friday in the mid 60s and rain that night with a low in the low 40s. On Saturday, the rain looks to stop with a beautiful high in the mid 60s. And lastly, Sunday looks to be around the mid 60s and cloudy with a low around the mid 50s. You know, personally, I'm looking forward to all of this rain. I feel like it makes hot coffee taste so much better. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Me personally, I'm not much of a coffee guy. I'd rather just go with a good hot cocoa.
Yeah, I'm not a rain person either, but you know, it's Iowa, you gotta live with it.
Right.
Well, thank you for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We are here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. online and anytime at dailyiowan.com.
For everyone here at DITV, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again on Wednesday morning right here on DITV.
And stay tuned for DITV's sports segment In the Zone right after the break.
Stories occur every day, and here at DITV, we've got you covered with up-to-date news and politics.
The former President Donald Trump won the Iowa caucus.
Keeping highlights and scores with Hawkeye Sports.
Or the All-American walk-on brought that punt return down this sideline and into this end zone.
And of course, all the latest in entertainment.
Sit back, relax, and here's the word on the street.
Here at DITV, we've got a crew bringing you all the stories from across the nation and right here in your backyard. Around the University of Iowa and Iowa City community, we have the stories that matter to you here at DITV.
DITV is your winner of the Best College Newscast in the Upper Midwestern Emmy competition, taking home the Crystal Pillar. On April 8th of 2024, DITV brought you special nationwide coverage of Iowa women's basketball matchup in the national championship game against South Carolina, the 2024 Solar Eclipse, Iowa City's Mission Creek Festival, the Walk It Off Runway Show at the University of Iowa. Thank you for watching DITV for the local stories impacting the city. Full coverage of Hawkeye sports, politics, entertainment, and everything that makes Iowa City, Iowa City.
Coming up, Iowa baseball takes care of business on a road trip to Ann Arbor.
And later, an update on tennis as they head into postseason play.
Hello everyone, welcome into DITV Sports in the Zone. I'm Brady Barrett.
And I'm Ryan Paris. We'll take a look at everything going on in Hawkeye sports.
Let's get things started, Ryan, with a big-time baseball series over the weekend where the Hawks traveled up to Michigan for a 3-game series. And it was one of their best performances so far this season. Starting off with Game 1, Ben Wilmez scoring first. He's coming around right into home, right past the outstretched glove of the Michigan catcher. Let's see that one more time. Ooh, barely gets in there. But he wouldn't be done. Ben Wilmez here up to bat, knocks this 2-run homer out to left field. That'll take a 3-0 lead. Then Daniel Rogers here, he'll hit a stand-up double. This one would tie the game at 5 in this back-and-forth battle. Now coming up here, we'll have Reese Moore at the plate. He'll hit this one off the pitcher's glove. This will give Iowa a 6-5 lead in Game 1. That'd be enough for them to hang on and win.
Moving on to game number 2, we start off with a sacrifice bunt. Run scores. He is out at first. Hawks will take the lead on that. Then Cooper Schulte nearly decapitates the pitcher as he hits one right up the middle. That was to get into center, score a run, and give the Hawks 2 in scoring position right there, second and third. And then right at the end of the game, looping into left center field, Miles Risley tumbling to make the grab. What a catch for Miles Risley. There's a second look at it. He gets the job done.
Now here in Game 3, we'll have this shot out to right field here. That'll give Iowa a 2-1 lead, bringing in 2 runners home off of that one. Then Blake Gearin steps up to the plate, RBI single up the middle to make it a 3-1 ball game in Iowa's favor. They wouldn't be done yet. This Mitch Wood bases clearing shot to right field brings home all 3 runners, give Iowa a 7-3 lead, and that'd be the insurance they need to hang on to that one 7-4, get the series sweep, and win their 7th straight Big Ten series this season.
Moving on to softball, getting the action right away. Penn State gonna strike first here with an RBI ground out. Then Avery Jackson, big rip left center field. This one gonna get down and one-hop the wall. Here comes Devin Simon rounding third. She is going to score easily. Throw coming into the catcher, and Avery Jackson advances to third on the play. Then runner going to second place. But look, coming home, and it's Avery Jackson to tie the game, take the lead for the Hawks. And then late stages, grounder up the middle. Jenny Young, full extension, diving throw over to first base, and they get her out. And the Hawkeyes win the game.
Now taking a look, the Hawkeyes have a doubleheader today. Game 1 is set for first pitch at 12:30. Game 2 is expected to start around 4.
That's right, Brady. We had some April showers on Easter Sunday, causing Game 2 to be postponed. And if Penn State wins both games today, they'll win the series and draw level with Iowa in the Big Ten standings.
That's right, Ryan. But let's get into tennis now. The Iowa tennis team closed out their regular season by paying a visit to the Pacific Northwest this past weekend.
This past Friday, the Hawks took on Oregon, who they defeated in a narrow 4-3 win. Oregon did win the doubles point, but Iowa was able to battle back, winning 4 of the singles matches.
It was a completely different story yesterday, however, when the Hawks ran into Washington. Even with this matchup being delayed by an hour last night, it still wasn't enough prep time to slow down the Huskies in their 4-0 sweep of Iowa. Whole lot of action here, Ryan. And now let's take a look at where they're in the standings here. We're going to go to DITV's Elise Gann live in studio with us to break down where the Hawkeyes sit in the standings.
Yeah, Brady, we've got some updates here on the wall, and I'll start with baseball, where Iowa still stands first in the Big Ten. The Hawkeyes have stood on the top pedestal for the conference for the majority of this season, and now are multiple games ahead of second place UCLA. UCLA and Iowa have been battling day in and out, but now the Hawks hold a 4-game lead on the Bruins with under a month to go in the regular season, and not much has changed when it comes to the playoffs. The Hawks still standing in first, where they will be in Pool A. And now on the other diamond, Iowa's softball season is also winding down, and the Hawkeyes have moved up a spot in the standings, rising from 8th place to 7th place. And as talked about earlier, Iowa is in the midst of their Penn State series with 1 win under their belt. And if they stay on their hot streak, they will make their way into the playoffs as they are in the conference's top 12. Iowa has 2 more Big Ten series left this season, both against teams who are not slated to make the playoffs, so they will have to take advantage of their opponents to stay in postseason play. And off the field and onto the court, the Iowa tennis team officially knows their seeding after completing the regular season last night, though not much has changed. Washington is still up in the 3 spot, and Iowa is in the 8 seed and will face 9 seeded Maryland, and whoever wins that will face Michigan, the first-ranked seed in the Big Ten. And they would advance to battle a top team. And the Hawkeyes lost to Maryland on the road earlier this season, 4-2, and were swept at home by the Wolverines, who are also one of the top teams in the entire nation. That's all I have for standings, and I'll send it back to the guys.
Yeah, Ryan, exciting time here with tennis coming down to the wire.
Absolutely. Playoff season, always exciting for any Big Ten sport.
But now let's take a look at our top 5 plays for DITV Sports in the Zone over the past weekend. Starting off, Iowa baseball versus Michigan. This is game 1. We've got Ben Wilmez's 2-run home run shot here. Deep shot to left field. This would give Iowa that 3-0 lead they needed to help them get that 6-5 victory over the Wolverines in game 1.
Moving on to number 4, Iowa softball versus Penn State. This in the final inning. The last out of the game, Jenna Young, full extension, throws over to first base, and they get the runner out upon review. Iowa's going to win that game 2-1 just in time. A bang-bang play.
Now let's keep things back to the baseball field. This is game 3 here. Mitch Wood hitting this one off to right field with bases loaded. That brings every single runner home, all 3 of them, to give Iowa that 7-3 lead. Of course, they go on to win that one 7-4, but this play here, the catalyst in that one.
Moving back to the softball diamond, it's Avery Jackson, big swing, left center field. That one gets all the way to the track. Devin Simon scoring on this play, and Avery Jackson, you know she's got some top flight speed. She's going to be into third base on this throw, and later coming around to score. It would tie the game 1-1, and Iowa eventually wins it 2-1.
Now, Ryan, here we're going to bring baseball back for our top play. This is game 2. Iowa leads 3-2 in the 8th. And this line drive out to center field by Michigan. Ooh, the diving catch, Miles Risley. Let's look at that one again. That game seals the win almost because that left a runner in scoring position for Michigan, and they'd go on to win 3-2. That kept the score right there. Now Ryan, Iowa's track and field team had a big weekend in Gainesville, Florida, complete with some new school records. Kalen Walker got things started by resetting his own school record in the men's 100 meter.
And then Chioma Wachikwu followed by improving the program's 400 meter mark, and the women's 4x400 relay team capped off the day with the team's 3rd record.
But the action isn't just on the field of play, Ryan. There's plenty of things going on behind the scenes in Hawkeye athletics. That's why we've got Cole Krieger live in the newsroom for some off-season updates.
The Iowa Hawkeyes continued to add to their trenches with their latest transfer portal. Offensive tackle Bryce George has committed to the Hawkeyes with 1 year of eligibility remaining. The Ferris State transfer has won 3 Division II national championships and has made 38 starts in his career. The former D2 All-American comes to Iowa City standing at 6'5", 314 pounds. But it's not just on the gridiron where the Hawkeyes are building up their roster, but also on the court as well with men's basketball. As late last night, the team made it official, bringing in Robert Morris transfer Alvaro Fulgueres. Fulgueres is a 6'9" forward who is listed as the number 43rd ranked transfer in the portal and is originally from Spain. In the Colonials' lone March Madness game, he collected a double-double. Iowa will face Robert Morris in Game 1 of the upcoming season. That was a look how things are adding up in the transfer portal for the Hawkeyes. Now, back to you.
Lots of exciting things going on off the season too, Ryan.
For sure. NFL drafts coming up. A lot of Hawkeyes in potential to go in the 1st and 2nd round. Should be exciting.
Exactly. Big times coming up. But thank you for tuning in to DITV Sports in the Zone. For Elise Gann, I'm Brady Barron.
And for Cole Krieger, I'm Ryan Paris. We'll be back next week. But until then, stay in the zone.